Right then, before we get into United's 11, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to put some players in that I've not featured. One of those is Marcus Rashford. I think he's going to be in my 11. Stick around and we'll get into why a little bit later. Now, let's talk about Bournemouth. Now, Iraola's doing a bit of a madness, to be honest with you. They've adopted a really distinctive tactical approach that sort of goes high intensity, quick transitions, and he's known for this aggressive kind of high press game, and they pride themselves on winning the ball back in big areas, putting immediate pressure on the opposition, trying to force errors, and it's been really, really effective for them in creating some goal scoring turnovers in the final third. They will play a 4-2-3-1, sometimes looks like a 4-1-3-2, like when pressing, they kind of like do go for it, leave a pivot in behind just to sort of cover the defence. Number 10 or defensive midfielder shifts up and helps them press, trying to give them numerical advantages and set traps in the wide areas. Iraola likes them to play at a really, really high pace and looks to try and exploit the space in behind the defence with quick vertical passes and runs. If Martinez has a game like he had against Spurs, you're in trouble. Lenny Yoro should be fine and should really suit him. There is a strong emphasis on counter-pressing when they win the ball back. They look to try and get the possession back quick after losing the ball, look to disrupt the opposition's rhythm in the final third and then try and counter-attack. And it's all the hallmarks of what Iraola was doing since the days with Vallecano. Now, the team's ability to cover ground in attack and defence has been a massive strength for them, and the system demands high level of fitness, high level of commitment, and it's led to being one of the most work rate sort of focused teams in the Premier League. They prefer to press high, but they have also shown capability to adjust the tactics dependent on the opposition and where they're going to play. That adaptability was evident in their approach against some of the other stronger teams, where they've opted to go a little bit more conservative. It is a high-risk approach, but they've managed to get a bit of balance with it. They've shown good resiliency in defence when needed, and their tactics do seem to, if they're not going to press hard, they'll focus on pressing traps, which means sometimes pressing and sometimes not. Maybe there's a player, maybe there's an area of the pitch where you decide that you're going to press, and they have a very, very compact structure when they don't have the ball. Tactical setup has not only transformed Bournemouth into being a very competitive side in the league, but it's seen what looks like is going to be one of their highest points tallies, showcasing the effectiveness of this sort of system and Iraola's philosophy. Weirdly, they also rank third in the Premier League for expected points based on their performance so far. This is not a flash in the pan. This is a team that's putting in really, really good performances. Star man for them, I think, is going to be Antoine Semenyo, probably one of the most well-rounded wingers in the league. He's built like a 9, but he's got the silk and the traits of a winger. He is powerful, he is strong, he can do it off both feet, and he's a real dangerous carrier of the ball in transition. One that, if I'm in the dressing room for United, I'm going, just fucking drop him on the halfway line, lads. Don't let him build up a head of steam. Don't let him penetrate into that final third. If you're anywhere near him, be all over his shirt, foul him. VAR's going to get you. There's no hiding place now in the Premier League. But let's take the yellow on the halfway line, because if he enters the box, penetrates the box, we are in trouble. In terms of my United 11, like I said, there's probably a surprise in here. I think Amorim's unpredictable, right? And I think his reaction to the Marcus Rashford news last week, unless it's gone totally tits up with Marcus Rashford, if that's the case, then that's the case, but I don't know. I suspect that he is going to throw the gauntlet down to him. And there's a couple of reasons for this. One is political. And two is, if it works, he looks like a fucking genius. You give Marcus a couple of games off. He's not involved in a squad. He doesn't travel. He's just literally off, right? Clear your head, figure it out, make the decision. If the decision has been made, and honestly, it sounds like it has been made, that he's going to leave the club, then cool. All right, mate. Time to shop window yourself. Get yourself a good move. And also help Manchester United and leave on a better note than what it would currently be if you just didn't feature ever again for the club. So I've gone with Marcus Rashford. And I've put him in alongside Højlund because of, I'm anticipating that this team are going to come and they're going to put they're going to try and put it on United in the way Spurs did, I think, on Thursday. And for that reason, I'm putting some pace up front. Now, I'll go to the back, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I also thought about bringing Casemiro into the team, but I've not. So at the back, Onana in net. He's literally the player that came out of the game on Thursday with the highest stock rise, I think, after watching Bayenday's performance. So Onana in net. I'm going to go Euro, De Ligt, and Martinez as that back three. Would not be surprised to see Martinez benched after that. I think you might see Mazraoui in there potentially. And the reason for that is I'm going a little bit more offensive with this because I think that there's a way to really hurt this Bournemouth team. So I'm going with Diallo back to the wing-back role because he can do it. And it gives us more options in attack. So I am going with Diallo as right wing-back. I'm going with Dalot as left wing-back. I'm going with Ugarte alongside Menu, although I did and ahh about putting Casemiro in there. One for the set plays and two because, he's not played. And then Bruno and Rashford behind Højlund. And like I said, it could be Zirkzee. It could be Zirkzee and Bruno behind Højlund, and I wouldn't be mad at that in the slightest. I think that would be a real good option for this, but I've just got the impression I think it's going to be a surprise in this team. And I think Marcus's involvement will be big news, and he will play again for Manchester United unless it's gone totally off the rails, which I hope it hasn't. And I think what a great opportunity to bring him back this would be. I think that would really work. In terms of the star man for United, let's be honest, it's Amad Diallo. He is flying. A lot of football can be about confidence. His confidence probably could it get higher? Can you imagine if it does? He's got the ability to start deciding games for us on his own against what is a very good side. Him versus Kekes would be the big battle of the game. And I've just got a feeling he's going to be another deciding factor match from him. The ball retention qualities against the high pressing side will be super important. And I can just see him having a real big impact. And him as sort of the right wing back really helps limit what they're going to do as well. So I think moving him back over there, because obviously he can play in the 10, he can play as a wing back. Let's see him back over here and see how it goes down. As always, this video is brought to you by our friends at Hollywoodbets. Another exciting offer for the United and Bournemouth game. Hopefully, we can build some league momentum and get back on it after the cup exit midweek. We're going to go with Semenyo to have 1+ shot on target, with at least one on target in 5 of his last 7 games. Feel like that's quite likely to happen. Amad to have 1+ shot on target. He's averaging 1.1 per 90 at the moment and performing well and really rounding into some form. So if he plays, he's absolutely going to be shooting, and he should. Lewis Cook to get carded. He averages 2.8 fouls per game. I can see that happening. Dalot to be carded because he averages 2 fouls per game, over 8.5 corners, and that's been boosted from 20-1 to 24-1. So if you stick a tenner on it and it wins, you're going to get 250 quid back. Click the link in the description. If you're new to Hollywoodbets, you're going to create an account and claim one of their fantastic new customer offers as well. All that stuff is below. And now let's talk about the second fantastic competition just in time for the new year. They have got the chance to win an £80 voucher to use on any football shirt of your choice. All you've got to do is place £5 bet on any Premier League game between the 20th of December and the 7th of January using the links that are in the description, and you will automatically be entered into the draw. And it's open to both new and existing Hollywood customers as well. So don't miss out. Go and stick it on. Use the link in the description to do it. All you got to do is stick a £5 on and you could win a voucher to win a shirt of your choice. You do have to be over 18 to participate, and the offer is only available to UK residents. Terms and conditions do apply. Please gamble responsibly. So how do you beat this Bournemouth team then that are flying so high and doing so well? I think you mix it up a little bit. You can go direct, and I thought they were very good at doing that against Spurs with quality. Now, due to how aggressively they press, going into the channel, finding Højlund, or finding a Rashford, or finding a Diallo, or maybe it's a Zirkzee, try and get those players, Diallo and Højlund, especially in 1v1 scenarios with their centre-halves, will be really favourable. And that's going to lead to them becoming less adventurous with it when they press. And United, I think, really good technical platform to build out from with De Ligt, Euro and Martinez. Use them. Use that to step up out of the pitch. And then force their wingers deep. And again, it's another reason why I wanted to bring Diallo on as a wing back. You put forwards right up against their defence and you use Diallo as a wing back, means that their wingers have to do extra work. How do you clip the wings of a dangerous and dynamic winger? You ask him to defend. Make him defend. Make them worry about Diallo. He's probably one of the most informed players in the Premier League at the moment. You're not going to ignore him. You're not going to allow him to be the man that comes in and isn't picked up. Make him defend. So that's what I'm thinking for how this is going to all shake out. Please let me know your score predictions and all that in the comments. And I'll catch you after the game as usual. See you in a bit. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.